Do you think all your customers believe that quality is a key part of what they get from you? And if it is, how would you demonstrate that it's key? What does it suggest to you in the first place? The heart of your brands. The most important? The first thing that you would see in one of your brands is the quality of those brands. Is that what that means to you? Or does it not mean anything? In fact, how many of you actually have read this policy statement and understand it? I'm trying to make us realize that we don't pay a lot of attention to these statements, do we? But what I am trying to help you do is to say, if you wanted to quote that policy, this is the top of your quality, your top of your organization. This is your statement of quality intent. If you can't demonstrate those words to people on the shop floor, then what do you expect of them? What do you expect them to be able to demonstrate in the way that they work? So maybe we need to improve quality and food safety and the way that we can demonstrate that. And that might be through FSSC 22000. Is that the end of the story then? Is this it? That's all you have to do? I'm not going to try and give you some answers. I want you to think about some of this. I want you to really understand what happened and what those actions were, and then go right back to your own hazard program and your own hazard analysis and the risks, and think, have you got it right? What have you got in place now that will prevent that from happening at your site? Because if you ain't got it right, now is the time to do it. ISO 9000 is probably one of the most boring bits of standards that I've ever put in place. And yet, I still haven't found a better standard for managing quality ever, anywhere. And if someone's got one, I'll be quite happy to go through it with them. And I keep knocking ISO, and I was sort of like, I'm a major advocate of implementing it and using it as a tool. And yet I hate it because it's been abused for so many years by so many people who have never put it in place in the spirit of what it was intended for. So ISO has been hoisted by its own petard. It's a system that has become a tick box, and people wonder why their quality hasn't got any better, because they don't understand what it's driving at. It should meet customary requirements and strive to exceed customer expectations. So ISO is very clear in sort of saying, don't just meet what they want, but try and do better than that. That's not a bad way of looking at it. That for me sort of says that's the intent of any management system, is to do better. It doesn't mean spend millions and go way over the top. Just do a bit better. Don't we like it when we all get a bit more service than we expected? It says that you should have a documented system. Why not pull that same system together and have one set of documents, not two? So there's an obvious fit, isn't there, in the way that by pulling a management system together with food safety, you can manage the whole thing better, more effectively, more controlled. If we don't have management backing this, if we don't have managers who are committed and who are responsible, then it isn't going to work very well. And it's that implementation that's also key, isn't it? It's no point having a wonderful system if it's not actually put in place to the full. So it's communication across the company to people who have an effect on food safety. That's imperative. So whether it's line managers, whether it's QA staff, whether it's cleaners, yeah, all those people that could affect food safety. It's about ensuring that all those prerequisites are in place too. So all those things that support food safety are there. You do all the corrective action, but how many of you actually do the proper follow-ups? How many of you actually understand what did this cost? And I'm not just in financial terms. What did it cost us if we'd, and I think Scott's got this one, if we'd only thought about it better in the first place, could we have avoided doing this? PAS should not be used in isolation. So if you think you can just go and put PAS 220 in and that's okay, you can't. The intention is it's used in conjunction with ISO 22000, and 723 states it. Now, why do I mention that? Because if you're going to go for ISO 22000, that's the part of the clause that you have to meet. If you're going to go for certification, that's what you'll be audited against. And by demonstrating that you can and have implemented PAS 220, you will meet that.